and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind. Talking about Justin Bieber.
Hello out there, we're on the air. Trying to be. We're trying to be. Not working. What the hey? What the heck? Okay, happy hump day, everybody. Let's all be humping today. Whoa, look at this big freaking moth. What the hell? Get out of here, moth. Scram. Also, did anybody see it's not as good now. We had about, I don't know, probably wasn't 3. A couple minutes of lucky lounging. That might have been our all-time high viewership on YouTube for the last 6 months. Lucky lounging on the deck. Maybe I should just turn that into the stream for the day. And going forward, who knows? Might do better. Oh man, sad but true. Sad but true. We're going through some tough times here in Bitcoin. No doubt about that. Oh man. But anyways, we're here because why the hell wouldn't we be? Sorry, Rumble. I just realized that I forgot to start that. But we got a little contest going on today. We got a little Connie. Here. Let's edit this. Edit. Contest for today. I wanted to do this yesterday, but we didn't have time. Every person who leaves a comment every person who joins the live chat on Rumble is entered to win a King Zap. It's a big one. That's a big one. So Rumble's going to be rewarded today. I see there's a good crew over there on Rumble today, and they are going to be rewarded. So I don't know. Is it worth it? A King Zap is 8,888 Satoshis. Probably more than the average person will have in 20 years from now. That's what we're giving away today. And all you got to do is hop onto Rumble and say hello or leave an emoji. Say something nice to me. Might get you some bonus points into the draw. Tell a joke. Who knows? Anything you want to do. Is it worth it? I don't know. Is it worth taking a minute or two here while we get set up? If you aren't on Rumble yet, signing up for an account, which will take you 30 seconds, jumping in there, saying hello, get your name entered into the draw, and we'll be making the draw today, later in the show. So very easy. I don't think we could come up with an easier contest than that. Contest for today. Every person who joins the live chat on Rumble is entered to win a King Zap of 8,888 sats. There we go. Couldn't be easier. Couldn't possibly be easier. Hey, look at this. Scotty Boy's over in Zapstream. He said, spotted this on Primal. Wow. Primal must be back working. Zap stream. Can you confirm that? Plural's also in the Zap stream today. He zapped 88 sats. Thank you, Plural. And yes, we should tell Noster that we are live. If you're watching us on Noster too, you can say hello. I'd love to hear from you. So that's the challenge for today. Who's going to take part in it? We'd love to have some people jump over from YouTube, create an account, put your name in the hat, and there's going to be a fat zap given out today. Today, live, on the air. Who's going to win it? We'll see. Okay, get out of here, ducks. Get out of here, ducks. Quit quacking. Oh yeah, here we go, live. See, it doesn't show me the doesn't show up like it used to on Amethyst, but why? I don't know. So we're gonna give people a couple minutes here because I see there's a good crew on YouTube today, and we'll see if they are up for the challenge. Maybe they already have a Rumble account. Maybe they've already they set one up a couple years ago during the pandemic era, and they just haven't used it ever since. But very easy to win this one today. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of an easier contest than what we're doing today. So yeah, I mean, the reason for it isn't just because I want to give away my sats, but we have a certain threshold or requirement that we have to hit by tomorrow. And it is the number of live chatters, I think, and we're a couple short. So not only are you going to be entered into the draw and potentially win a big zap, some Bitcoin for free, but you'll be helping me out. And, if you enjoy what we're doing here and you maybe don't have the financial means to support the channel, a very easy way to do it would be something like this. So we are live talking Bitcoin, Rumble, YouTube. Okay, let's find these quickly here. So how's everybody doing today? How's the hump day? Anybody get a morning hump in today? Don't tell us if you did. We don't need to know that. TMI. But hopefully you did. Or if you haven't yet, hopefully you do. That's what Wednesdays are all about. That's what Wednesdays are all about. And I don't know if this is still true or not, but it used to be the case on the show here, where if you sent a zap, a support zap for the show, it usually led to a hump. It's just the universe keeping track. You know what I mean? You send in some support for the show, the universe gives it right back to you in the form of sex. So anyways, okay, so we're talking about wrench attacks today. There was a big one. I never even heard of this until this morning, actually, but I figured it was a good conversation for today. So we'll get to that in a little bit. That's going to be kind of the main part of the show, but we got a lot of shit going on in Bitcoin right now. No doubt about that. Okay, let's see who's going to be entered into the draw today. So far we got let's see who's on the list so far. We got the captain. And I'm going to actually create this list right now on the spot because I'm not going to come back and do it. So we got the captain. Captain is in the chat. Let's get this going. Let's get this up on screen so everybody can see. This is the Bitcoin ethos. Very transparent. Captain. So again, this is for anybody who joins the live chat today. They're going to be entered into a draw for some free Bitcoin. Bitcoins. No, Bitcoin. 8,000 sats. Holy man, that's all. That's a big zap. 8,000 sats given away today. How many exclamation marks? Nah, about that. Captain's in the house. So yes, all you need to do to be entered into this draw today. It's going to be a fun show today, I think. Hopefully, we got Scotty Boy here. Scotty Boy says, "Is this the right place to store the biddies?" It is. Scotty Boy is in the house. We got Rich over on Rumble. Sketchucation. Good morning, Rich. Sketch. Cation. Is that right? Looks all right. Morning, Rich. Plural's here. Oh, look at that. Plural. Jumped in before I even knew there's a contest going on. Reason to believe. RTB. Plural. Hello out there. We got Donnie, unfortunately, on the tubes, but maybe he'll join us on Rumble. Who knows? Donnie Fashion Set. The man himself. I think it's a man. Donnie, you're a man, right? Are you a man or are you the man? Or that's about it. Are you a man or are you the man? Or potentially a woman. But that's it. That's kind of the only three options. I might put that on the spreadsheet here. There are 3 types of people. A man, the man, a woman. Write that one down. Bookmark that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm in a feisty mood today. Although, here's what you want to do today. This is what I would recommend after the show. Go back and rewatch the start of the show. Probably the first 3 minutes of the show. You're going to see a live stream. Instead of the Ducks, we had about 3 minutes of Lucky. Lucky sprawled out on his back on the deck. And we had, that was the most people we've had on YouTube for a while watching Lucky. To enter the draw, simply join us in the live chat on Rumble and say hello. So we got Praetorian. The Guardian is here. Praetorian is on the hat. All these people didn't know that this was going to be a draw today, and they're still here. Stripes is here. Good to see you, Praetorian. Stripes, eatable, zebra. We got Henry's over on YouTube. Good morning, Henry. We got Odenu. Greetings from the wage cage. Good morning. BIP 88. Yeah, everybody should be running BIP 88. That's what I'm talking about, baby. BIP 88. We're going to turn this into a little chalkboard today. Eric Joseph in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Eric. Nice to see you, man. Look at that nice picture. Little pumpkin. Maybe that's so actually I've kind of made as much as I like that picture. And the kids might hate this. The kids out there, to all the kids who are listening to the show today, imagine a kid on the school bus tuning into the 88 Sats radio in the morning. Although I'm sure the backpacker kids are listening in, but they're definitely not on a school bus. You notice how similar a school bus is to the buses that take people to a prison? They're like the exact same fucking thing, just different colors. They're not even trying to hide it. Man, wow. Good to see you, Eric. Stells Row. Robert, I'm going to put Stells Row in the house. The man himself, Robert. Good morning. And Maria is here. Maria 2500 in the house, in the flesh. God bless Maria. She's been probably the most consistent zapper on the show as of late. Right up there with Moravian. I'd say Moravian, Maria have been the top 2 most consistent zappers. We got some big zappers. We got some very supportive zappers. But on the daily, I would say Maria and Moravian have been top of the list. There's Lauren. Lauren Stern, the man. Lauren Stern. Good morning, Lauren. We got Victus. Victus says, moin moin. One of the German ways to say hello. Victus Moins. Victus Moines. Good morning. Is this the right place to check with Scotty to see if it's the right place? It is. Yes, Lauren, that's correct. We get Cedar. Cedar's on the house, in the house, on the house. Who knows where he is? Good morning, Cedar. Good to see you. And the beautiful Bella. Kev, 21 South Street. Kev. In the house. This is going to be a good draw today. Kev. We should put 21 South Street because we got a couple Kevs here. Kev. The coffee man. Look at this. We got the BTC backpacker kids. I knew it. I knew if there was any kids on the planet Earth that would be actually tuning in. Could you imagine that? But I remember going to the school bus when I was a kid, back when we had cassettes and Discmans. And I had a nice Discman, actually. It was a Sony. It had 3 little dots and a nice little logo on it. It wasn't like the shock resistant ones. You know, remember those yellow ones with like the X across it? The shock resistant ones. It wasn't that. But this one was a better quality, I think. So it wasn't as shock resistant, but Sony made better Discmans. I think it was called a Walkman, Sony Walkman. But imagine kids these days tuning into the 88 Sats radio on their way to school. I doubt it, but you never know. Maybe one day. But anyways, we got the backpacker kids here. We got Anon here, but I'm sure Flipper and Hodler aren't too far away. So a big shout out to Flip this morning. Flip had a spider bite. She might have some superpowers. She got bit by a spider, and hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully they didn't have to amputate the leg. But you'll be better off for it, Flip. You'll have some superpowers now. Just try to harness it sometime. Just sit there in a quiet space, away from Anon, away from Hodler, away from Fanny and Backpacker. Just sit there in a quiet room and just put all your energy, all your thoughts towards shooting a web out of your wrist. Just see what happens. You don't just try it for a while. Don't spend the whole day at it, but focus all of your energy and try to see what you can shoot out of your wrist. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Fanny says, hi, need hubby to get us on Rumble. Yeah, what the heck? What the heck, Backpacker? Get the family on Rumble, man. Okay, we got, love the intro. Yeah, me too. Gets me going every morning. Never fails. It is the right place. How about hello and an emoji? There you go. That's what I'm talking about, Cedar. Is this the right place for the Rick Grimes of Bitcoin? Okay, I want to see this guy. I took a look at him yesterday, but what's this going to be on? Hold on. I got to be careful just showing screens all the time. Mark is here, 65 Sats. Actually, that was the other one that I missed there. I knew I was missing an M. It was Maria, Moravian, Mark. Not necessarily the biggest supporters. Definitely up there. But those three, the 3 M's, are the most consistent zappers on the stream. Maria, Moravian, and Mark. Every day, pretty much. They don't miss too many. What the hell am I doing here? Oh, Rick Grimes. Jerry called me that yesterday. Rick Grimes. Okay, what's his story here? Rick Grimes. I've never even watched The Walking Dead before. What's his story? Come on. Rick Grimes, a fictional character and the protagonist. Protagonist is a good one, right? Protagonist. That means he's on the side of the audience. The post-apocalyptic comic book series, The Walking Dead. The live-action television series. Okay. So what's his duty here, though? What's his story? So it says he served as the protagonist, with the series taking place decades after his death. Rick awakens from a coma into the apocalypse and searches for Lori and Carl, finding them in the Atlanta camp where he becomes the group's leader. Although Rick quickly adapts to the notion of killing walkers, his morality towards the living is constantly tested against the safety of his friends and family. So what's this guy look like? Is it because I look like him? Well, I could kind of see it. Beard, white, hair. I could see it. Maybe I should make this my new profile picture right here. This one. What does he actually look like, though? That's a horrible picture. Grimes. Where's Grimes? The images. Oh, yeah. Need to maintain my beard a little bit, though, to look like Grimesy here. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. I don't know if Jerry meant because I kind of look like him or if it's because of his character. I don't know that part. But anyways, that's what Jerry said I was yesterday. Rick Grimes. Zebra was watching. That was a good show yesterday with the boys. Brandon, Jerry, and Big Lou. Sweet Lou. I got to call him. I got to start calling him Sweet Lou. I don't know if he'll like that, though, or not. I love me some Lou. Love me some Lou. Okay, also, we got a big zap here to report from Bill. Bill. Our guy Bill sent in 6102 to our rescue dog fund. The QR code there on screen. You can scan that if you want to. And it'll take you to a nice website. And I might ask you to send some money, but it's just the entry fee to get onto the website. But it's a 6102 attack from our guy, Bill. So thank you, Bill, very much for that. That one came in yesterday after hours. But let's keep going here. We got Chuck. Speaking of consistency, Chuck, one of the biggest supporters on the show here. Chuck, CWH 13. Good to see you, Chuck. Happy Wednesday. We'll be in and out this morning. No worries. Flipper. Oh, it was a hornet. Oh, I thought it was a spider. Flipper got stung by a hornet. Wow. And got cellulitis. With the ER for 4 hours. Damn. She's okay. Good. Good to hear that, Fanny. Thanks for the update. Humping around with a shaft in my hand. Freaking Fanny. Look at this. KW, we'll call her. K-Dubs says hello. Good morning, K-Dubs. I don't know if I've ever seen that face or that name on Rumble before. 21 hats, Jake. 21 hats. Jake is in the house. Good morning, Jake. Good to see you, buddy. Bitcoin Barber. Morning, Bitcoiners. Morning, George. Just got back from Colorado. Nice day here in Illinois. No clouds in the sky, 70 degrees. Nice. We got Mark. There he is right there. We're going to put Mark. 6'5" sats. No, we can't do that. 6'5" sats. Bob and Stewie. Morning, boys. There's Backpacker. So Backpacker has a Rumble account, but he doesn't have one for his kids and wife. What the heck, man? We got to get that. That would have pushed us over the edge in July. If Anon, Hodler, Flipper, and Fanny all had Rumble accounts, we would have easily got over the line on Rumble this month. But we will anyways. We're going to do it today. Good morning, everyone. Mowing lawns for Sats, listening in the background. Good morning, Backpacker. He's happy that it's not Tuesday today. Sandman. The Sandman. The Sandman from Italy is in the house. Good morning, Sandman. Yo-ho. From Italy. Love that. Love that. Good to see you. Bitcoin Barber says, can't wait to get out of here and back to Colorado. The guy loves the mountains. The guy loves the mountains. Okay, let's check this out. I've seen this face. TM. I don't know if you answered me yesterday. TM, do we know, do you have another alias? Okay, who are we looking for here? Who are we looking for here? Jessica Loves. Is it Jess Loves? No, yeah, Jess Loves. Jess Loves MJK. Fuck you, Fauci. Hey, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I was going to talk about Fauci torturing puppies. Okay, what are we looking for here? Great quote tweet to POTUS about Operation Warp Speed. Okay. See what Jessica has to say here. With all due respect POTUS. Let's see. What was he talking about? So this was July. This is today. Okay, so let's see what Trump says first. Many more people died of COVID under the Biden administration than under the Trump administration. Operation Warp Speed was a spectacular success. In fact, many say one of the most successful things ever done by an American president. I overrode Fauci on this. His ideas were crazy. Also, I said from the beginning that the virus came from the Wuhan lab in China. Oh, this is going to be great for my my listeners, my AI listeners. Fauci strongly disagreed, always trying to protect China. I inherited Fauci, who was there since the 80s. But with each passing day, I relied less and less on him. He made too many bad calls, like on masks. Remember at the beginning, he was an anti-masker. He then switched to super masker. In any event, I didn't let him shut down the country, although he wanted to. I went the Federalist way and let the governors decide. Yeah, see, and that's what I've always, that was kind of always my take on it, is that Trump never wanted to, he never mandated anything. He didn't want people wearing masks. He didn't want to shut things down. And he wanted the states to decide. There's been a couple things like that with Trump that he said, I don't want to decide this. This is at the state level. And to me, that's how it should be. That's what the United States is. It's not some fucking dipshit in Washington, D.C. that, by the way, isn't even part of the U.S. making the decisions. It should be state by state. But anyways, that was one part of the thing that I was on Trump's side for. The Republican governors did a much better job than the Democrats. Fauci was largely taken out of play, and then along came sleepy Joe Biden, who made Fauci a king. I called Biden to tell him Fauci was no good, either didn't have a clue or was dishonest. The call was well received, but sadly not acted on. Biden went on to give Fauci vast destructive power. The rest is history. President Donald J. Trump. Okay, so then Jessica says, with all due respect, POTUS. I think this is the one you're talking about, right? TMB? Well, we're going to assume that it is. With all due respect, POTUS, Operation Warp Speed was not a spectacular success. Millions of people have reported being injured in temporal proximity to getting injected with the bullshit. And it is possible that billions of people were injected with contaminant DNA. We need to investigate this. More important than pharma profiting and plug and playing the mRNA. We're talking potential existential crisis here. Okay, SV40. Man, I'm hitting all the keywords here. This is going to be an awesome show. You could end up being a hero if you respond appropriately. Is this the one you're talking about? Yeah, and I'm with Plebinator on this one. I don't know if this is the tweet you're talking about here. This doesn't really seem like much to me, but I might be missing something. That seems like a pretty standard response. But anyways, I mean, yeah, my thoughts and my opinion on Operation Warp Speed was similar to Plebinator's here, in the sense of Trump knew what they were doing. Trump knew that they had these vaccines. Trump never wanted to mandate them. In fact, he actually said the opposite many times and was criticized heavily for it when everybody accused him of drinking bleach when he was talking about the other cures that were available. I think HCQ was one. HCQ, ivermectin was another one. Trump was a big proponent of both of these and went on many times to talk about the effectiveness of them. So the Operation Warp Speed, for me, I think the positive that came from it. I mean, yeah, you could say that, but here's what you have to think through too. Like, imagine this. Imagine Trump comes out, a very controversial figure as it is. Everybody's in absolute hysteria. I know it's easier looking back on the pandemic now, like, wasn't that big a deal. But at the time, people are losing their fucking minds over this stuff, right? And so imagine this guy comes out who's known for being more, against the big pharmas and against the mainstream medias and, the whole wing of propaganda. Imagine this guy comes out and says, hey, these vaccines are bullshit. We're not letting them out. What would have possibly came from that? If he said that we weren't doing this, we're not doing this, we're not having these vaccines, they're bullshit. How many people do you think would have wanted a vaccine even more just because Trump said that they were bad? And they would basically like accuse him of stopping people from being cured. Like that's what the world was waiting on. Do you remember that? They're like, once we get these vaccines, then we can open up again. Once we get these vaccines, you can start traveling again. Once you get these vaccines, we can all go back to work again. So the whole world was waiting on these vaccines to come out. Could you imagine if Trump came out and said, we're not doing that? Imagine the uproar, even though it would have been obviously the right choice. But from his perspective, he was in a lose-lose situation there. So what I think Operation Warp Speed was calling their bluff and saying, they already have it ready. We're not going to wait 4 years, because that's what the Democrats, as Trump called them, that's what they wanted to do. That was their whole plan, was to introduce this big issue here, get everybody in this state of fucking chaos, and say, hey, when the vaccines are available, then you can get back to normal. And so the Democrats wanted that to go on for 2, 3, 4 years while they were getting their vaccine all ready to go. But Trump said, you know what? Bullshit. You have the vaccine ready. Let's roll it out. Operation Warp Speed. Get everybody back to school. Get everybody back to work. Get everybody back to normal. And you can take it if you want to. I just don't see anything that Trump did bad in that way. I really don't. I don't think he could have handled that any differently. I really don't. Even looking back now and seeing all the damage that they caused, there was really no way for him to win that. So that's kind of the side that I've always had. If you could look back to probably 30 different episodes, I've talked about this. That's the tweet. Does he want to be a hero? If truth is known, can act accordingly. Does he want to be a hero? You mean if they, oh yeah, no, I have no doubt about that. I think that he is going to, I think the world needs to see something very, serious happen with Fauci. I think we do. I think we need closure on the whole thing, because many of us who were, scarred very badly from that whole thing. But again, I mean, here's the thing. Like I've always said COVID was the best thing or the worst thing that ever happened to me, but also the best thing. If COVID never happened, there would be a 0% chance I'd be sitting here today. 0, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 0% chance. And the things that I have learned and the changes I've made and the transformation I've gone through since that day, like the old me is dead, long gone, buried. Might not even recognize him. And that wouldn't have been the case without COVID. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tough things that happened. I ended up leaving my job that I worked very hard at for a decade. I lost a lot of friends over it. I was unable to attend my brother's wedding as the best man. Thankfully, it got pushed back and I was able to go to the wedding. But as the original wedding was planned, I wasn't able to go to it as the best man. So all my family would have been there, all my friends, all the, everybody, but I wouldn't. We were trying to figure out a way to get me in to the wedding. How fucked up is that? My brother's wedding. And there were so many people that, that's a story. That's one story. There was many of people who didn't get to say goodbye to their fucking mom or their dad or their spouse because of the regulations that were put on by these fucking morons. And yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of this bottled up inside of me that, I don't know if it'll ever, honestly, having conversations like this helps me. It does. As much as I don't like, swearing on the internet and getting fired up and all this kind of shit and spending too much time on it, this stuff helps me. It really does. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who feel the same way and went through very similar experiences as I did. But again, I kind of look at it from the perspective of this, none of this, my life today would be possible if I didn't have to go through that first. So it was definitely a curse and a blessing, and the worst thing that ever happened to me plus the best thing. So it's like, But I still would just like to see a lot of accountability, not just for Fauci. I think that's one of a million people that could probably be, you know, in the worst way possible. I would actually, man, I got to be careful. I got to be careful. I'm a big believer in an eye for an eye. So whatever that looks like to you, or whatever you think about that, I think society desperately needs to get back to an eye for an eye. With politicians, with central bankers, with pedophiles, with anybody who steals a fucking candy bar from a store. You know what used to happen if you stole something from a store? You get your hand cut off. You're probably not going to steal again. You know what happens today? Nothing. They don't even get a slap on the wrist anymore. And you see it. We live in a zero trust society now because of that. And you know, I hope it changes. I really do. Anyways, let's get back to our list here, because we still got to add some people to it. We still got to add some people to this list. So we got the Sandman, we got TMB, TMBR, Timber. Is that Timber Crasher? No, I haven't seen Timber Crasher for a couple of years now. Is that Timber? No, could it be? Backpacker, what's going on here today? I don't know. Lots of stuff. We got a good crew here today. We got a good crew on YouTube. We got a good crew on Rumble. And we got a good crew on Zapstream. So everybody watching on YouTube right now, if you want to enter the draw that's going to happen today at the end of the show, you can join us over on Rumble. Join us over on Rumble. Say hello in the chat, and you'll be able to get your name in for it. Okay. What was I going to do here? Vic Shoots, look at that. Vic Shoots in the house. Vic shoots and scores. Vic shoots and scores. And look at this. We got Hands Off My Sats, formerly known as the artist, formerly known as Hands Off My Mail. Jenny Legendary. Hey, where's Sats and Sunsets been? Anybody see that guy lately? Sats and Sunsets, where is he? Maybe he's working. Oh, actually, he said that he was going to be absent for a little while. Maybe he's just watching the replays. Where the hell is Sats and Sunsets? He's going to be on the back of the side of a milk carton soon. Jenny Legendary in the house. Great to see you, Jenny. Working in the background. All right. Orange Bird Dog says, morning, I'm on Rumble and YouTube. Okay, what's your name on Rumble? Morrow says, BIP85, fellas, for the live title of the show, keep your seed and location outside your house. Derive BIP85 to multisig with main seed. There you go. Show's over. Morrow, good to see you, man. We want more. We want more. We want more. Satster. Oh, almost deleted Morrow there. Sorry, buddy. Satster, great name. Satster, what's up? Pippin met Satoshi in 1993. You know, here's the funny thing about that. I made a tweet about this too. I said the odds of that happening are low. Of Scottie Pippen meeting Satoshi, they're low, but they're not zero. They're not zero. Views front and center says, yo, present. Hey, Views front and center. Get over to Rumble, man. We're giving away some biddies. All you need is an account, and you got to sound off in the chat. Duncan. There he is right there. We're going to call Duncan like that today, even though that's not how it's spelled. Another very consistent supporter of the show. Duncan says, good morning, beautiful people. God bless Duncan. Good to see you, man. And look at this, Spider-Man herself, Spider-Woman herself. Turns out to be a hornet, though. That's not quite as cool. Probably more painful, But good to see you, Flip. Glad to hear you're doing good. Jenny says, Lauren Scotty told me to stop giving my sats away, so there we are. Don't listen to those two banana heads. Plastic, good morning. Backpacker says, I'm on it. We got Gringo Poppy here. We got Praetorian on YouTube now. Wanted to check in with the Bitcoin Barber. Plebinator. Hey, look who it is, folks. Look who it is. I thought I heard him back there. We'll get the Plebinator on the list here. Plebinator. Plebinator. Look at this. Lauren says, invited people from our Signal groups to come to live today. Hope it helps. Thanks, Lauren. Plebinator says it will eventually leak the true intention of those vaccines, which will cause distrust in all forms of power and government and eventually cause their collapse. I agree. I think they're kind of already on the way there, though. Look at this fella. ENE says, good morning, my friend and gang. Working serving iced coffees in the hot UK. Keep stacking, turn on the DCA with a couple orange hearts on there. God bless. Good to see you, Ian. Always good to see you, my friend. There's Vic. He can, but if he can redirect the damage, I think he will. Hey, look at this. Tom. Hi, Jora and all Bitcoiners. Let's have a super day today, Tom. Good to see you, Tom. Sup, Hose? What's up, Hose? Wow, we got a wide-ranging crew today. It's nice to see. What's up, Vic? If it was known how damaging these vials were, imagine what is known about reversing or detoxing the effects. Yeah, you're right. I agree. 100%. Buck 50's in the house. Buck 52. Bucky. Buck 50. Buck 52. Look at this. This is the shit I'm talking about right here. Clock management. It says, lost my dad in the hospital, wouldn't let me visit for a month. No doubt the vaccine is what tipped him. I'm not sure. Wild. There's a reason hell has an open border policy, no doubt. You know, I think that there actually is, Plebinator. There's still people who think that was the that they're effective still. It's honestly crazy. It's just, it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. Brian Donald raised the felony theft threshold from $300 to $1,500. Who the hell's Brian Donald? Never even heard of her. Start 9 will automatically start running BIP 110, which I find weird. No, that's not true. That's not true. Is it? No, can't be. That would be worse than Bitcoin Core. What they did, that'd be worse, way worse. I'd say significantly worse, exponentially worse. That wouldn't be the case. Is it? No. Okay, Orange Bird Dog is K-Dubs. Gotcha. K-Dubs, aka, I like Orange Bird Dog. It's a good dog. Jen, I think your name should be Hands Off My Jen from Hodler. V4V, V4 Veneta. Still hodling. Good on you. Still on Vax too. Good on you. Lauren says, Arnie showing up earning those sats. Yes. So I think we got a good list so far. We'll keep that going. It'll still up for grabs. We'll do the draw in about half an hour from now, probably. Drew's here. Good morning. There's a stairway to heaven and a highway to hell. Highway to Hell. That's a good song, actually. I'm a big fan. I love me some AC/DC. Most people do. I'm definitely not alone there. But anyways, this is what we got. This is a lot. I'll put this up for a couple seconds here, and then we'll take it off. So number one, we're looking for Sats and Sunsets still. To enter the draw today, which we're giving away free Bitcoin today, a very rare thing on the show. To enter the draw, simply join us in the live chat on Rumble and say hello. Draw for some free Bitcoin, 8,888 sats given away today. And here's our good list. And don't forget to run BIP88. What should we be running? I'm confused as to what to support, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of going through the same thing, Plebinator, right now. Can you verify that Start9 thing? That doesn't sound right to me. I know that Start9's definitely been pushing the BIP110 stuff, which I think is an absolutely fucking colossal, mistake of theirs. But I am thinking they sold a lot of products because of it, which is pretty sinister in itself. I used to think that I used to say this all the time. Start9 would be one of the companies that I would be happy to take sponsorship from. And I don't know if I feel that anymore. Not that I don't like them. I just don't have the same kind of love towards them. I think some of the decisions they made as of late are in the interest of Start9 and not in the interest of Bitcoin. But yeah, I think I'm going to be switching back from knots. I'm currently running knots, and I'm going to switch back to Bitcoin Core. For a couple of reasons. The biggest one being that I think when BIP110 fails, Luke will probably have a fucking meltdown, and he probably won't keep maintaining knots. So it sucks. I think that's going to be one of the most damaging things about this whole situation here is we're going to lose another good implementation in the form of knots. But it sounds like there's going to be more coming, hopefully. I'm hoping that they can get some sort of support to develop more implementations. I've heard Jimmy Song and Samson Mao are going to be coming up with implementation. I'm guessing it'll be similar to knots, like without many changes other than some additional customization. But yeah, I think I'm going to switch back to Core. Probably Core 29. I mean, honestly, I think that the whole Core 30 thing was even overblown. I don't like the way they handled it. I don't like how they were speaking to people. I don't like how poor of a job they did explaining why they did it. But I don't think that it was, I don't think that it was really meant to be, anything, especially how overblown it was. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. That's probably a project that's coming the next week or so. I'm going to switch back to Bitcoin Core. Paulie said, in 2021, mother's nursing home boss looked me in the eyes and said, I'd never see my mother again with no jab. Holy fuck. That's wild, man. Send that Bitcoin to those who really need it in rebuilding economies. Well, how the hell would I do that? What does that mean? Plebinator says, my bad, it just says BIP110 will activate after block. Yeah. It'll activate before that. It'll activate as soon as they reject a block. No need to switch as long as you don't signal BIP110. After activation, running out of consensus software version will leave your node vulnerable to missing blocks or accepting invalid blocks, which could result in lost funds. After activation, running out of consensus software version will leave your node vulnerable to missing blocks or accepting invalid blocks, which could result in lost funds. I don't know how that would result in lost funds unless you're sending it during that time too. Totally redundant. Please do not break the BTC consensus for the sake of our children's children. Yeah, no doubt, man. That's where I'm at too. Something about this whole thing that's happening just seems very, very sinister to me. And I never got those vibes when I first started looking into this stuff. I didn't. I really believe that BIP 110, the people who were proponents of that and signaling that, I really thought that everybody meant well. They really thought that they were making the right decision for Bitcoin. And I don't feel that way anymore. I don't. I've seen too much stuff, too many lies, too many slurs, just people losing their fucking minds, man. And it really feels like something sinister is happening there. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I'm so tired of talking about it. But there's just going to be a lot of innocent people who think that they're doing the right thing that get absolutely burned by this thing. And I really hope that there's people who aren't going to be going down with the ship. When the chain splits, and there's two versions of Bitcoin now, Bitcoin and Bitcoin. I just hope that people don't sell their Bitcoin for the Bitcoin. That'll be a mistake you pay for the rest of your life. I run Core V26. Yeah, I mean that's no sense updating, I guess. But the issue with this plastic is that I think they stopped patching any security vulnerabilities after like 3 versions of it. That's what I understand anyways. I could be wrong. But I've heard like if the latest was Core V31, they would still maintain support for 31, 30, 29, and 28, I believe. Or maybe it's just 29, 30, 31. But that's kind of like the only dangerous part about running an older version is that I don't think they don't maintain it. BIP 110 does not get rid of the ability to send pictures. You can reconstruct the data over multiple transactions. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. That's the whole issue that I have with it. It's just more of, people being mad at Bitcoin and wanting to change it. But good thing that's not how Bitcoin works. Kev Keith in the house. Kev Keither, we'll leave it like that. Enjoy your Cabal bootlicker Mark Carney British Crown shit. Enjoy your Cabal bootlicker Mark Carney British Crown shit. I have no idea what that means. When Bitcoin price goes lower, the difficulty adjustment goes lower. No, it's when Bitcoin hash rate goes lower, difficulty goes down, which means a higher probability of an attack. I mean, you're kind of right here because usually when hash rate goes down, the price goes down with it. No, that's the opposite. It's actually price. If price goes down, hash rate follows. Usually, it also depends. Like you've seen a couple different which one leads first, but I think in this case it would be if there's any sort of issues with Bitcoin, the price would go down, and therefore the hash rate would go down because miners wouldn't be as profitable because they get paid in Bitcoin. So when they can't redeem it for as much fiat, they don't like that very much. And so they just power down. So then the difficulty adjustment would go down, which means a higher probability. Yeah, I mean, you're right. But it's still like, I don't think that there's any sort of a chance. But anyways, we don't need to turn this into Bitcoin derangement syndrome. Yeah, people are going to have a hard time coming back from this one. But speaking of that, let's get to let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in the mempool today. The pool of mems. Marapool won the last block. Marapool can kick rocks. Okay, what's going on here? We got the it's too bad. Sats and Sunsets missed he picked a bad show to miss today. Because we got not bad actually. I was gonna say we need the castle builder here. Because we got 50 people over in Rumble. Wow, that might be the worst ratio I've ever seen. 47 people in here, and only 15 people, including me, have pressed the like button. But I see some white over here. I'm seeing some white. Usually the castle builder would step in and build some castles. Who's this? Oh, there's Tom. Tom's a premium member on Rumble. How come I don't see it too much in here, Tom? But yeah, we got some red in there. We got some rednecks, some castles, but there's a lot of white there. I don't think Sats and Sunsets would like that too much. Speaking of beauties, we got Duncan over in Zapstream. He zapped 4681 the DC8 today. Thank you, Duncan, very much. We got War Monitor zapped 50, and we got our guy David T zapped 420. Beauty. Beautiful. So here's where we're at today. We got 1,512 blocks until Bitcoin changes forever. Or does it? We'll see. Sounds like myself, Forrest, and potentially Jerry are going to be going live on BIP 110 night. We're going to get some popcorn. I'm going to have like 30 beers. Might even call up David T, see if he can get me some 420. And we're going to be watching. And we're going to be rooting like a horse, watching horses race. And so this is what's been happening here. We got Mara. You know, I was gonna make a tweet about this today, but I'm kind of over pissing people off on Twitter. Although I pretty much doubled my followers on Twitter by having some common sense in the last week here. But anyways, what I was gonna say was BIP 110 kind of has their own mempool where you can see like the toxic blocks and the green blocks, the pure blocks, which I find hilarious because Satoshi's Genesis block is actually labeled toxic by BIP 110. Imagine that. You know you're on the wrong side when you're calling Satoshi's Genesis block toxic. But anyways, the point of what I was saying there is that I was going to say we don't really need that mempool because you can just kind of look at the regular mempool and see which blocks were mined with BIP 110 because they have like 0 transactions in them. They're all half full blocks. So this BIP 110, they're trying to convince miners to activate it. And it's like, why would a miner want to earn less? That doesn't even make sense. See, here's one. Penguin, half block. You don't need the mempool there. You just need to look for the half full blocks. And you can see which ones are the BIP 110 compatible. Not many. Yikes. Not many here. Oh, Peak. They mined a full block there. Good on them. Haven't seen too many of those full blocks with BIP 110. So that's 2 blocks in like the last. Was F2 pool mining with BIP 110 there? 1 transaction. 2 blocks in the last. It's a bloodbath. So 2 blocks in the last. What is that? That's 960 right there. 960,000. We passed a big milestone yesterday. 960,000 blocks have been mined officially on the time chain. That happened about 23 hours ago. That's a big milestone. 9-6. So we got to be coming up to palindrome block here soon. 960069 will be a palindrome block. So 2 blocks in the last. Oh, we already missed it. 121. That's not great. I'd say odds are low. If I was a gambling man, I'd say odds are very, very, very low. So I guess the question then becomes, if you are somebody who, thought you were doing the right thing, which, is fair. And the way that they kind of communicated the whole thing was like, hey, if you don't like spam, hey, if you think Bitcoin should be used as money, hey, if you're not a pedophile, you should signal BIP 110. And you know what? This really pissed me off. Crater made a video the other day telling people to change their port on their Start 9. so that it's no longer through Tor, but it's a listening node, basically doxing themselves. And the people are, it's kind of like sheep. They just kind of get in line. Okay, I did it, Matthew. Thank you. I did it. I just doxed myself for the greater good. I was trying to be kind of neutral with it for a while, but it's actually fucking pissing me off now of how much they're lying, how obsessed they are with this. And it's just like, it's not cool to me. And anyways, so I guess the question is like, if you've already signaled BIP 110, what do you do? If you're having second thoughts about it, of supporting this weird fucking, whatever they got going on over there, I think you could probably easily check with AI and say, how do I signal back from BIP 110 to Bitcoin Knots or Bitcoin Core without the activation? I don't think it's very difficult. I think it's literally just a switch that you can activate on there. And if you're running the updated version of Knots, I believe that they defaulted to automatically activating it. So you might want to check that. Again, if you're not somebody who wants to signal BIP 110 and you want to be, not left behind, figure out how to do that. You should probably do that this week, I would say, or this weekend. Very sinister. And I was hesitant for a while to talk about it because there's an angry mob on one side, but I'm kind of past that now. I don't give a fuck. And I think it's actually really bad what they're doing. I would consider it to be an attack on Bitcoin. And, I'm not cool with it. I'm not. I haven't seen anything. And the thing is too, that's the worst part about it is they keep switching the whole narrative. First, it was like, hey, we want to get rid of spam. And then everybody's like, yeah, well, it doesn't actually get rid of spam. And then like, whoa, well, it's not a real technical argument here. We're just trying to show that we have influence here, not the miners. And it's like, okay, well, you went through all this. Like, look at Jerry had Matthew Cratter's YouTube video or YouTube channel up. The last 3 months are just him shitting on people and talking about BIP 110. And he's called Bitcoin University. Imagine going to a university like that where you don't even see the face of your professor. All he talks about is the same fucking thing every day. And he tells you who you should hate every day. Imagine that university. How much fun that would be. So I don't know. It doesn't align with me one bit. Nothing they're saying makes any sort of sense. And the way that they're approaching this whole thing feels very sinister to me. And I didn't always believe that. But as of lately and what I've been seeing on Twitter is just a bunch of lies. It's all lies. And it just seems like a total manipulation, propagandist movement here. And it doesn't accomplish anything. It's an attack on Bitcoin. That's how I feel about it. It really is. And thankfully, Bitcoin doesn't give a fuck what a couple people on X think about it or what it should be. So it'll fail. But I think that there's still going to be people that get burned by it. Unfortunately, people who thought that they were doing the right thing, just like COVID. And I see a comment here. It's where was that? $1.52. A lot of parallels. Exactly. It's the same old shit, man. You introduce these ideas, you get people all riled up, you spread fear and uncertainty, and you just talk in all this weird language, and you just put people into a state of hysteria, and they're like, well, yeah, I mean, I want to protect my grandma. Of course. I want to protect my grandma. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll do it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's trying to accomplish here. I don't know how effective it is or how dangerous it is or what the second, third order implications are here, but I want to save grandma, so I'll do it. Same shit, man. But again, it all ends in 1,510 blocks. Hopefully these people who have been pushing this bullshit for the last year never return to the space. You could hear me on my show say this a couple weeks ago. I said, one of the worst things that's going to happen here is that we're going to lose good people in Bitcoin, like Matthew Cratter, like Bitcoin Mechanic. I no longer think that. I think that they've intentionally misled people, and they're going to hurt a lot of people because of it. And they're going to have their own chain, and we'll see how that goes, I guess. But I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of the bullshit. And, you know, the way that they've done the whole thing is that it's, you know, just like with COVID, you couldn't speak up about it. You were an outlaw. If you questioned the masks, you were the bad guy. Or if you said, hey, maybe we shouldn't be taking these vaccines, you were the bad guy. You were the crazy guy. And that's how these narratives work. That's how this manipulation works, is they find these trigger points for people. And then anybody who opposes them, even though they don't understand what they're doing, anybody who opposes them is the bad guy. It's really sinister. It's very sinister. Oh, well, it'll be over soon, thankfully. G Money says it's a Zionist plot. 8.8 has some geomatria components. Maybe I'm on the wrong side here. Maybe 88 is a bad thing. Maybe I'm a Zionist. I'm definitely not. I actually don't even know what a Zionist is. Oh man, I'm willfully ignorant in a lot of subjects. I don't know what a Zionist is. I think it has something. It's a religion, obviously, but I don't know what they worship or who they worship or what they're all about. Because frankly, I just don't care. So 88 is just the year that I was born. A lot of people are actually, when I started the channel, a lot of people were calling me, they said I was on Team Hitler. Because I guess the 8s have some significant thing with Hitler. I don't know what it was. But anyways, I was being accused of being a Nazi channel. But I said, you know, watch. No, actually, I don't even mean that anymore. I've evolved since then even. So anyways. He says it's black magic, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know either. They should have killed Bitcoin in 2009. It's too late for anyone to stop this train. 100%. 100%. And, you know, the bigger this gets, the harder it is to change. The bigger this gets, the harder it is to control. And the bigger this gets, the harder it is to stop. And I think we're kind of we're past the point of all those now. So it's good news. Good news. And in my opinion, fiat actually has already collapsed. Fiat actually has already collapsed. Just wait. I got to send one text here before I forget. Fuck, I got a lot to do today. I'm gonna have to wrap things up here right away. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm gone I'm not going to be here on Friday. I got one of my good buddies' bachelor parties this weekend. I just got to send a text here quickly. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be hot. It's supposed to be like 30 some degrees this weekend. And we're doing 36 holes on Saturday, 18 on Friday, 36 on Saturday. And hopefully we get a chance to jump in the lake at some point that day. Okay. One of the magic of Bitcoin's backwards compatibility. Yeah. One of the magics of Bitcoin is backwards compatible. What do you mean by that? Like not backwards compatible? Like you mean SHA-256? Or what do you mean by that? DNK says made it to Rumble. Look at that. This was turning out to be a wise decision today, I guess. So we got DNK. DNK. I like that name. DNK. Do we know you from YouTube or somewhere else? DNK. Don't know if I've seen that name on Rumble before. Thank you, Jor, for all your efforts you give on these shows. Yeah, no worries. I love doing these. I really do. I told somebody who's very close to me yesterday that I'm going to be retired in 5 years. But I'll probably do these shows still. I just love doing this stuff, man. I think it's important. And, retirement to me looks a little bit different. Retirement to me means doing whatever you want. And, I would argue that I kind of already am retired. It doesn't feel like that a lot of days because there's days where I work, from 6:30 in the morning till 7:30 at night. But it's doing stuff that I like doing. So it doesn't really seem like, it seems like I already am. But more officially, I guess, maybe a little bit less work, less things involved in that in 5 years from now. No doubt about that. But I'm not going to stop showing up here. Destiny. Rumble Rummy says, hello, I recently came across your channel. Was genuinely impressed by the content you're creating. It's clear you've invested a lot of time, creativity, and consistency into your work. And that, what? That's the end of your message? I thought there was something nice coming, even more. But thank you, Destiny. I'm sure you're a real Destiny out there. Jor really understands. That's subjective. I've been told a lot of the opposite things on Twitter in the last couple of weeks. Matthew begging the plebs to signal BIP 110. Yeah, it's pathetic to me. Praetorian, look at this. Praetorian answered the call. Gave a membership. A new Rumble Redneck was born today. Sandman. And he wasn't done there. Praetorian. Satster gets a membership. So we got two to report today from our guy Praetorian. Thank you, Praetorian. I appreciate that, brother, very much. Memberships are my favorite, I think. I love the big zaps, obviously, but the membies are great because, it's just a nice gesture. You're buying something for somebody else. You're supporting the channel. I think out of all the things that happen on YouTube and Rumble, the memberships are actually the highest percentage of my takeaway. And that's why I love zaps, because it's 100%, right? Under the radar. The radar. DNK, I regret getting the vaccine. I was a minor still in school. Wow. Really? You're a minor. That is fucked up, man. But kind of how I think about it, I could be wrong about this still, but I feel like if you've made it till this point, you're probably in the clear, because there's been a lot of people who haven't. There's been a lot of people who died instantly or within 24 hours. There's a lot of people who have, big time adverse reaction to it. And there's a lot of people who have had turbo cancer because of it. And I've known many myself within my life in the area here. So I think that that's something that I kind of, think is that if you've made it this far, you're probably okay. Just my guess. And I mean, there's things you can do to clear it out of your system, I think, to flush it out if it's not already out. But I think that the dangerous part is over. I think. Or, the other part of it too is like, you could have got one of the saline shots. There was something with that too. They were giving saline to certain people with certain, the whole thing was just so sketchy. Yeah, Matthew crashed out. What's up, Josh? Fuck me. I said the other day, he went off the rails with core versus knots debate, and he's way past that now. He's full on like, Crowder's like the Rosie O'Donnell to Donald Trump. Or the Whoopi Goldberg to Donald Trump. Or the Rachel Maddow to Donald Trump. That's what Crowder is to Saylor right now. It's fucking hilarious, man. It is hilarious. Cedar said, anyone else ever get kicked out of a store for not following the safety arrow stickers on the floor during COVID? I did many times. I didn't participate in any of the nonsense. Badge of honor. Yeah, I definitely did. I pretty much every time I walked in the grocery store, I still remember that like clear as day, even the exact spots that I was in the grocery store. And I'd walk in, everybody else would be wearing their stupid fucking masks. And I would just walk in there and just, I try not to look at anybody. and I would just grab my groceries, go to the till. Most times it worked, but like occasionally one of the security guards from the grocery stores, which is crazy to this day that there's security guards in grocery stores, but it's just something that kind of trickled its way into Canada here. But a security guard would come up and say, "Sir, you need to put a mask on." And a couple times I just ignored them and see what they would do. But the funniest kick out that I had was from the strip club. Imagine a strip club in COVID and everybody's wearing masks. Like if you're in a strip club, you're probably not too concerned about germs. But everybody's in there in a mask. And I was in there and actually had one of those balaclava. No, it wasn't a balaclava. What this like a neck thing, neck warmer kind of thing. And so I just kind of like pull it out. I would pull it up to go through the door. And then I would take it off when I was like, drinking or playing pool or, watching the strippers, whatever. But she kicked me out of there. The waitress bartender kicked me out of there because I wouldn't put my mask on. So I got kicked out of a strip club for not wearing a mask. I think that was my all-time highlight of COVID. But, I kept my dignity. Or did I? I don't know. Hey, how's the stream here? My StreamYard's really choppy right now. And just let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or something just to let me know that things are good. Man, we got a good crowd today. Maybe we need to have more just random shows like that. I mean, most shows are like this, but good crew on Zap stream today. We had Let's Faux Live, Zap 21 Sats over on Zap stream. Okay, let me know. Stream is stable on Rumble. Okay. Thank you. You should care. Zionism is extreme fanatism. No, I don't care. It's not my, I just don't care. Should I? Yeah, probably. Do I? No. Do not care. Does not affect me. Does not affect me. No impact on my life. Okay, hold on. I'm closing some tabs here. I'm sure you guys seen my tabs here. I wanted to show this quickly. This is what we covered in the course yesterday. We went through the difficulty adjustment, what it is, how it works, and why it's so important to Bitcoin. I guarantee you this. If you can have a good understanding of the difficulty adjustment, you will probably never sell your Bitcoin. I think that that's a parallel. If you have a full understanding of the difficulty adjustment, you will probably never sell your Bitcoin. So that's what we talked about yesterday on the show. We did an hour and 20-minute conversation on the difficulty adjustment, the calculation, how it works, why it's necessary, and why it makes Bitcoin so incredibly valuable. So that was on the school, the digital homestead course yesterday. And on that note, I wanted to give another shout out here. I see him in the chat this morning, but Cedar Sats had a really nice comment on YouTube yesterday, which I'm going to bring up here quickly. Cedar Sats, where are you, buddy? Right here. Cedar said, been away from the streams for a couple days. This was a good one to get back in the swing of things. He's talking about yesterday's show. And he said, and for anyone reading YouTube comments that isn't part of the school community, you're missing out on a lot of great Bitcoin content and information. It's very underpriced for the value. It's very underpriced for the value you receive. Don't be cheap. Go subscribe. Your future self will thank you. That's from our guy, Cedar Sats. And he's talking about the school community and the digital homestead course, which we did a show yesterday talking about the difficulty adjustment. So there it is right there. If you want to join, that's the best way to do it. Right there. School.com/88 sats. And let me see if I can find this real quickly. These are the shows we've done so far. Oh, I got to upload that today. These are the shows we've done so far. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about this today, but if you want a full version of it, this is where you can find it here. So this is the digital homestead course. You get the classroom here, and this is what the premium members get on school. You get a couple courses here with some great information on it in terms of options for buying, the best way to buy, how much Bitcoin you need, Bitcoin versus Lightning wallets, Bitcoin wallets, backups, and best practices. So that's included in there. You got the 21-day course, which is for some reason only 9 days on here. I guess I got to add more to it. I just noticed that the other day. But then you got the homestead course. This is what we're doing in 2026. Every week we go live on Tuesday, and we do an hour and a half, an hour and a half, an hour and a half. We had a shorter one here. This one was 2 hours long. How to buy Bitcoin privately. Breaking the chain if you got KYC sats. This is my favorite one, though. This episode number 2 here. I think if everybody here watched this, we would be in a much better spot for your Bitcoin self-custody. And then we talked about sending Bitcoin and the replace by fee option that you can use, the family wealth manager. And I need to add yesterday still for episode 12. And then, if you're a content junkie, there's just a lot of different videos in here that you can watch in the 365 days of Bitcoin. Just an absolute abundance of information here. The Bitcoin School. There's so much in here. Lightning Network. Oh man, there's absolutely unlimited amounts of things you can watch in here. If you like the channel, if you like me and the way I teach, then you cannot go wrong with this, man. School.com/88 sats. Join as a premium member and spend the rest of the year with us. We only got 5 months left, and we're gonna be talking about multisigs. That's kind of like the lead up to it. Is everybody getting themselves into a multisig Bitcoin setup? Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, I actually only got about 15 minutes here. I have a lot of things to do today. Too many, somebody said. Did you discuss wrench attacks yet? No, let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. So here's what happened yesterday. Oh, this was big news that I never even heard about. What the hell? I forgot I had this Twitter account. Completely forgot I had that. Man, I haven't posted for 2.5 years on there. Anyways, okay, so this is this was the story here. I gotta find it. It was on Twitter right here. So I guess other people heard about this, not me though. Hey, do I have all these on DNK? Okay. Wow, we got a great freaking. Praetorian says, Jory, I missed some things. Could you bring up the CVOs? What's a CVO, Praetorian? CVO. Missed some things. Could you bring up the CVOs? What's a CVO, Praetorian? Anyways, this is hold on, let me get this off the screen here for a second. And okay. So this is the big news of the day that I haven't seen anybody else talking about other than this this fella on X here. But this is Saquon Barkley. Family is okay after attempted burglary. Eagles running back, my favorite player in the NFL, Saquon Barkley, and his family were unharmed after an attempted burglary of their home Saturday morning, according to the Tredyffrin Township Police Department. So this was the wrench attack. This was a wrench attack. And I don't know if it is or not. I didn't really get into the details of this story, but I saw Grok did a bit of an analysis today. So let's look at the full story here. Saquon Barkley, break-in news. This was a week ago. Okay, so this was CTV News. Reverse shout out to CTV News. Police seek people responsible for the break-in at Saquon's house. So Saquon's a Bitcoiner, right? And we were talking about this yesterday on the show. We were talking about this yesterday on the BTC Mastermind about how Bitcoiners are going to be in a lot of danger in the next, I'd say, 5 years. And I don't know if this was related to Bitcoin. It's pretty well known that Saquon is a Bitcoiner. I think he put half his salary into Bitcoin, or maybe even more than that, in like 2021. So he's done pretty well on his Bitcoin investment that he made from his salary. And he's been on some Bitcoin podcasts before. He just embodies a Bitcoiner to me. If I watched the documentary of him and the work that this guy puts in, I don't think you'd find a harder working guy on the planet than Saquon Barkley. But the point that I made here on the Mastermind channel yesterday was that we're going to see more and more of this stuff. And there's been a couple examples lately around the world, one being in France, where the French tax authorities were actually selling Bitcoiners' physical addresses and information to the cartel. So in France, if you were a good enough citizen that you filed your tax return and you claimed gains on your Bitcoin holdings, those same people, the tax authorities, sold that information to the cartels. And there's been dozens or more stories in France of people who have been kidnapped and have their fingers cut off. France, Bitcoin, kidnappings. Actually, let's do this. France, Bitcoin, cartel breach. What happened there? Multiple French government institutions' emails, passwords exposed. So this is what's going on around the world right now. Is there's lots of these. I don't know how many stories there were from it. There's been numerous in the last year in France. Bitcoiners been very targeted. I think even the founder of, was it Ledger? No. He got his finger cut off. And there was the last week or this week in New York City, the Mondummy, the mayor there, he actually doxed all the people who are going to be part of this new tax law or property tax increase. He doxed all the addresses and the names of people who fit under this category. So you have the French tax authorities, you have the New York City mayor, and this is going to ramp up. It's going to get worse. And I think that Bitcoiners all agree that the world's going to go a little bit crazy here in the next little while. And people think that just because they have Bitcoin, they're going to be completely immune from it. And I think that couldn't be further from the truth. I think that one thing I've noticed as a serious trend here in the last little while is that governments love just finding a group of people, whether it's billionaires or anti-vaxxers or whoever you can point to. They love pointing out a group and then just focusing all the hate towards them. And I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do that to Bitcoiners in the future. I just don't. In fact, I think Bitcoiners would probably be at the top of their list. So what does that mean? I mean, France is the first country to do this. They won't be the last. I'm sure within, a little while here, they're going to do the same shit in Canada. And I'm actually myself taking some steps and precautions to get ahead of that. If you know what I mean. Maybe you don't. But it's going to be no different. As the fiat system continues to collapse, I should say, people are going to get more and more desperate, right? Because if you think about from like a government worker's perspective, or a tax authority, the CRA, the IRS, like these people, they're fucking parasites is what they are. They're parasites. You go and sign up to work for the government to tax people, you're a parasite. But their wages, it's not like a private company where like a government's wage, it can only go up like 0.01% a year or something like that. Like it's stupid. So these governments are going to like eat themselves. They're going to inflate their currency so much that they're going to have nobody that's working for them anymore because they can't afford to pay them because their currency is worth nothing. Like that's going to be the fallout here. And it's going to happen slowly. It is happening slowly right now. But the point is that they're going to get very desperate. When their wages aren't keeping up with putting food on their table, they're going to get desperate. And people inside of these agencies have a lot of very sensitive information. And so why wouldn't you? If you're somebody who works for like the CRA or the IRS and the cartel knocks on your door and either makes you do it or bribes you to do it, you're probably going to do it. Somebody gives you $1 million for all the Bitcoiners' physical addresses in Canada, you're probably going to do it because your salary sucks, your job sucks, and your life sucks for the most part. So you're going to do it. And then what? So your name might be on that list. My name might be on that list. So instead of waiting for that to happen, because this is inevitable, instead of waiting for that to happen, we need to start getting ahead of it. We need to start getting ahead of it today, not next year or the year after, or, if you give yourself 5 years, no, we have to start thinking about the stuff today. We have to start preparing for the stuff today. So that's the bad news. The bad news that Bitcoiners are going to be in some danger for the next couple of years. But on the other side of this, number one, you can actually do things to prevent that. You can move locations, which is a pretty drastic step to move locations and kind of separate yourself from all your Bitcoin holdings. That's probably your best play. The other option is selling all your Bitcoin back to that exchange and using the proceeds to buy more private sats from the non KYC options. But one thing that you have to do is you have to get your Bitcoin away from your house. You have to get your Bitcoin away from your house. And if you want to keep, one thing that I would recommend, because I know it's difficult, you get one of these beautiful devices like a Cold Card Q, and you're like, oh, this thing's fun. I want to practice with this. I want to see what this thing can do. I don't want to leave it somewhere else. This is my little toy. So that's what I would recommend people do is like, if you are somebody who has one of these already, order one more or two more. And then you can keep one of these at your house and almost use it as like a decoy wallet. But your main stack of Bitcoin should be far away from your house. Far away. Because you need to put yourself in these different scenarios where, okay, the cartel shows up at your door. What are you doing? What do you do? What do you say? Where do you take them to in your house? If you got a cold card there, even if it's hidden, you know where it is. If you got a passphrase, even if it's somewhere else, you know where it is. And this is a very difficult thing. Like this isn't something you can just switch on and off in the next week and all of a sudden, boom, your Bitcoin's away from your house and your passphrase is elsewhere and your device is elsewhere and your 3 devices are in 3 different locations. Like it takes time. But you have to start at least preparing for it today. You have to start putting steps in place today because this is not going to slow down. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. But again, the good news here is that if you can survive it, if you can get through these next couple of years, you're probably going to be safe forever. Because eventually these criminals are going to figure out that, it doesn't really make much sense to go to somebody's house to get their Bitcoin because they don't keep the keys at their house. Anybody with a sufficient stack of Bitcoin is going to say, hey, I don't want this at my house. I'm a huge vulnerability. This location is a huge vulnerability. I want to take one of my keys, put it over here, one of my keys, put it over here, and one of my keys, maybe put it in a different country. And so it's going to be like impossible and not even economically feasible to try to steal somebody's Bitcoin. It won't make sense. So what will they do? They'll probably turn on more like, you know, they'll do it from their house, and we're already seeing that. It's like we spend so much time worrying about these wrench attacks, but you know, I think they're going to be few and far between. I think it's still going to ramp up, and it's going to go from France to Germany, from Germany to the Netherlands, from the Netherlands to Canada to Australia. Like, this stuff's going to happen because as fiat continues to collapse, people get more desperate. They do stupid fucking things because they need to feed their family. But again, on the other side of this, people are going to realize that, hey, the worst thing that I can do is try to steal Bitcoin, because, you know, I might get hurt. Number one, if I go into somebody's house, a Bitcoiner's house, that's all I'm going to say. But the other part too is they're probably not keeping their keys at their house. It would be impossible to get somebody's Bitcoin from their physical location. But in order for you to do that, you need to start putting things in place for that to be true. So again, the episode 2 there that we did in the digital homestead course basically talks about that in a way, where you have 3 different locations. And the digital homestead course, we're actually going to be leading up to a multisig, where you set up a multisig with 3 different devices, 3 different keys, and you put them in 3 different spots. And not only that, because that's the easy part of it, but the hard part is knowing what you need to back up, what you need to keep copies of, where you need to keep them. That's going to be kind of like the lead up to the next 5 months here, 4 months, however long we do it, but it'll be a multisig. So you have to start thinking about this stuff today. You cannot wait. You cannot procrastinate with this stuff, because you can always do this. You can always get another device, or you can always put your device somewhere else. You can always create a passphrase. You can always set up a multisig until you can't. You can keep putting it off and off and off and say, you know, I'll do that. Maybe when my Bitcoin doubles in price, I'll start thinking about this. No, that's a horrible move, because it could happen before that. Something might happen to you before that. Who knows? You have to take action on this stuff. This is the most important thing in Bitcoin by far. It's not the price. It's not the latest fucking stupid BIP. It is making sure that you have no trace of Bitcoin at your house. And the cool thing about that is it actually protects you against both. What I was saying there is, like, in the future, I expect the phishing attacks, the online attacks, the social engineering, those will all ramp up significantly because there's no cost to it. Nobody has to jump on a plane and travel to get to your house. But there's still going to be physical attacks. And if you do it properly, where you have zero trace of Bitcoin at your house, then you're immune from both social engineering, digital attacks, and $5 wrench attacks, physical attacks. You're immune from both. Because if somebody tries to steal your Bitcoin from, you know, random country, they try to scam you with an email or a webcam. If you actually don't have the ability to access your Bitcoin from your house, there's nothing you can do. So you're immune to both. And when you're driving, you get hacked or somebody tricks you into sending them Bitcoin. When you're driving to get your keys to it, maybe you're like, hey, maybe this is a scam. Maybe I don't need to be doing this. Maybe I should just turn my happy ass around and go back home. So that's my main message of today's show is start thinking about this stuff today. Where you want to get to is you want to have zero trace of Bitcoin at your house for at least 95% of your stack. You can keep some. Like I have a cold card queue here. I have one there, but my main stack is far, far away from here. So that's what I got for you today. Got a lot of comments here. A lot of action on Rumble today. Love to see that. We love us some Rumble. Okay. Man, we had a record show on Rumble today. Why should they even care in the first place? Am I right? Yeah. We were talking about Zionism or COVID. I don't know. We've been everywhere today. Bip to core is probably what he meant. So Drew is what? DNK. Okay, got it. Drew is DNK. Plural says amen. Slow kill weapon takes longer for some people. I don't know. Plubinator thinks it'll get worse. Funny, we call it stag do in the stag do in the UK. Yeah, we call it a stag here too. Stag out. Wow, we got 60 frickin' people watching on Rumble right now. God bless. That might be the highest we've had since the all-time high days. Are we back? Are we back? I don't know. K-Dub said, I lost 2 friends. Unbelievably, some schools are still mandating. Really? Where? Jester threw away his cold card for C Center too. Who the hell's Jester? Then they had the drive-in nasal swabs. Oh my God. That was just fucking absolute just the silliest thing. Silliest thing. I love how Bitcoiners are people who value freedom. Yeah, it's the number one trait I think that we have. The number one thing we have in common. Look at this. Bike Road Fest. No, Bike Road Forest. Is that Forest Hoddle? Wow, what a badge of honor and dignity. Kicked out of a strip club. Why do you need to be in a strip club, buddy? It's a good question. My friends were there. The city that I live near here, the strip club's kind of like the place to be if you're over the age of 18. So you can judge me all you want to. I frankly couldn't give any less fucks. So to be honest with you, I don't really enjoy strip clubs. I don't really get anything from it. If this probably sounds weird to say, but like if there's a girl dancing on the stage, I'd say 96% of the time I'm not even looking at the stage. It just, I don't know. I don't like it. It doesn't really do anything for me. I think it's very weird. But it's something that guys do. There's pool tables there, there's VLTs. There's cold drinks and really just the atmosphere there of like older people instead of 18-year-olds. That's really why I would go there. But yeah, I wasn't looking for your opinion on it, my friend. Disappointed to hear you didn't wear protection being that close to strippers. Look at this. Medium Jeffrey the Third says, hey, y'all, just fix my Rumble. Glad to be here. Okay, we got a lot of people in the mix today for this draw. So we got to add medium Jeffrey the Third. Jeffrey, did I miss anybody here? Jeffrey the Third. I got to go. Fuck me. Jeffrey the Third. Can someone get me I guess we could just do a wheel. I could probably copy and paste all of these and put it onto a wheel. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. K-Dubs we got on there. Plebinator. Sandman. Buckfitty. Oh yeah, I think that's good. We got Jeffrey the Third. Force improves your immunity. It's just a modern twist, I guess. True. Kev said, should I look into this? It's on School, Jory. Yep. Whatever I was talking about there was on School. And here's the link to join School. School.com/88sats. Only legends join in the bear markets. When the bull market returns, that community is probably going to double, triple in size. But only the real ones join in the bear markets. Bike Road says, let's skip over that and get your viewers to sign up for your fiat to Bitcoin enterprise. What the fuck are you talking about? Let's just skip over that and get your viewers to sign up to your fiat to Bitcoin enterprise. What? Is this dipshit still here? What the fuck is he talking about? Bike Road Forest. I should have known you were a dipshit by your name. I don't even know what the hell you're saying. What does that mean? Speak English, man. Wear a mask now to avoid. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Use promo code Bella. You won't save anything, but it will feel good. Yes, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. DNK says Drew says, no, I'm going to call you DNK. Eyes and nose bridge must be covered to disrupt the facial data points. Your gait is the most significant identifier. What's a gait? COVID 2020 face diapers, 2026 actual diapers from lettuce diarrhea. Hey, Cindeezy's here. Cindeezy in the house. Morning, Sin. Oh, Citadel Vault OS. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is something that I'm hoping most people here will eventually get into, the Citadel Vault. I kind of advised people yesterday to hold off until the Bitcoin price goes back up a little bit because you're better off stacking sats right now. But yeah, this is the vault. This is the most beautiful piece of hardware I've ever seen, put my hands on. So this is the world's first inheritance computer, and it seems like I saw NVK is copycat. He came out with something similar to this, but there's only one Citadel Vault. This thing looks like it's 10 times better than whatever NVK had it on his little side gig there. Not to shit on NVK. I like NVK. I'm a big fan of his and the cold card, but the Citadel Vault is the number one, the first, the top, the best. And it's an inheritance computer. So you can put your Bitcoin private keys. Obviously, that's the thing that most people want to are most concerned about. But that's kind of like one of 100 things that you need to be backing up here. So the nice thing is you can just take all of your information that you have, all your digital information, your private keys, your PIN codes, your master fingerprints, your passphrases, your XPubs, your derivation paths, your email backups, your exchange logins, your investment accounts, your bank accounts, your social media logins. You take all this, all that information that you want to pass down to your kids or to your wife or whoever, and you plug it into this vault. And this vault is 100% offline, never cannot connect to the internet. It has multiple backups. So if the device stops working, you have a backup of a backup of a backup. And if something happens to you unexpectedly, if your kids or your wife knows how to access this, they have everything that they need. They don't need to go through a lawyer. They don't need to spend 3 months with Google or Hotmail or Bitcoin Well or Kraken or Coinbase. They have everything here. But most importantly, they have your Bitcoin stuff. And you don't have to send them on a fucking treasure hunt for it. It's all right here. Fully offline, no KYC necessary. You hold all the keys. Everything's on you. And so if you're interested in getting yourself one of these, find a way to get a hold of me. I don't want to make it too easy for you because there's got to be some proof of work here. But find a way to get a hold of me. I'll set up a call with you just to discuss. I can answer questions for it, see if it makes sense for what you have. And the next shipment, I believe, is going to be in October 2026. So you can place an order for this today. I would say this is extremely relevant for Gen Xers, baby boomers especially, but even for the millennials. Life's very unexpected. Even the Gen Zs, man. You're a new driver, Gen Z. You want to make sure if you got a decent sized stack here that your family can recover this. So that is the Citadel Vault. Is that what you're looking for, Praetorian? Hopefully. Wow, I think we've seen everybody in the chat today. This might have been our busiest show ever. Yeah, he wanted his NFL contract in Bitcoin. That's what happened there. France is crazy. Lots of high profile heists. That's a hard one to say. High profile heists. Underground game, there's massive. Yeah, France is absolutely a shitcoin. Harden your setup, harden your home. Anyone shows up swinging a wrench at my door will end up with a toilet seat size hole in their chest. Amen to that. If there's ever a doubt, makes it easy to believe the shots were purposely poisoned. Yeah, I agree. We should have full authority to wipe out armed intruders trying to get our Bitcoin. Yeah, we should, but unfortunately we don't here, especially in Canada. Paris is a shithole. Your seed phrase is a First Amendment, protected with the Second. Truth. Fauci's pleading the Fifth. I saw that this morning. Buy 3 cabins, put a key in each one. Yeah, that's a hell of a strategy, man. If you can get 3 cabins. May God give us the wisdom and the clarity. Amen to that. A frickin' man. And an open mind. Wyatt says the best deterrence of wrench attacks is them not knowing you have Bitcoin. Second best is home self-defense. If they're bold enough, they will put a gun to your head and force you to give it up. Yeah, that's why you want to have it in different spots, so you literally can't. You want to have it away from your house so you literally can't give it to them, even if you wanted to. Multisig with distributed keys worldwide. That's the best play for sure. For show. Okay, let's check something here. I got to plug in my phone briefly. Let's see what's going on here. We haven't even checked the zaps today. Anybody else's time keeps changing on their phone? Mine keeps switching back to like an hour behind. I don't know why. What was I doing there? Oh, zaps. Zappy, zap, zapperoo. Let's check on the zaps. Multisig, dogs, CCTV, you're good. Amen. How would you access your Bitcoin if the keys are in different countries? Would be a pain in the ass. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing why. Like, I agree. But do you see yourself in any situations in the future? Because I don't personally, where I would need to send my Bitcoin to somewhere or sell it or whatever. No. You want to keep like 2 to 5, maybe maximum 10% of your Bitcoin, like that you can easily access, or even leave it on an exchange. You know what I mean? Like, I know exchanges get a lot of shit, and Bitcoiners who, don't say not your keys, not your coins. Like, it's a dangerous narrative. It really is, because there's a lot of people who are taking self-custody of their Bitcoin that really have no idea what they're doing. So that's the first part. But number 2, it's like, why not just keep it on exchange? If that's what you're going to be using, potentially spending in the next 3 months, why does it make any sense to move it to your cold storage and then move it back to your exchange? And then it's very difficult for somebody to steal your Bitcoin from an exchange. So like 95% of your stack should be away from your house, far away from your house. 5% should be easily accessible. And if you want to keep it on a cold card at home, maybe a passphrase with it, or just leave it on the exchange. 5% of it, maybe 2% of it, who knows? But man, there's been a lot less Bitcoin lost on exchanges than by people taking self-custody and not knowing what the hell they're doing. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's called cold storage. You don't touch it. Bingo. Bingo, bango, bongo. You need my other project, Jor. What's your other project? But you would have to withdraw some at some point to buy land or a house, or just yearly allowance to yourself to spend the Bitcoin how you want to. Yeah, of course. But like, I'm never going to spend, I mean, everybody's different too. So I'm speaking for myself here, but I'm never going to spend more than 5% of my Bitcoin ever. 95% of it is for my bloodline. By the way, if you're liking things today, I appreciate everybody being here. This is probably the biggest turnout we've had in a while on the streams. But we don't have any sponsors here. We are never going to have sponsors. And so one thing that keeps the show going here is the beautiful people. The beautiful people. The beautiful people. And big shout out to those who have supported today. We got another shot of orange juice today, glass of orange juice from Maria 5K. We got some sats from Scotty Boy from Plural. We got a Mark Zap. We got a DCA from Duncan. I missed this one from Chuck, who sent a shot of espresso today. Good morning with the coffee on it. So thank you, Chuck, very much. He said he was going to be in and out of here today. We got War Monitor, David T, with the 420 zap. And let's full 5. We got 18 and a 45 from Sin Deezy. Thank you, Sin. And another 99 from Scotty Boy. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, if you learned anything, if you had any sort of entertainment for 2 hours today, you can support the channel very easily this way or that way. And I would appreciate it. And big shout out to our guy Praetorian too for a couple memberships over on Rumble. So we had Chuck with a zap, and we had Maria with a fat zap. And Duncan with the DCA, which was 46.81. Remember the days when we were getting like 3,000 sats, Duncan? Remember that? I do. When can you back? Oh shit! Sorry, Captain. I'm gonna do that right after the show today. I have a lot of things to do today, but I'm gonna prioritize that one. I will do that right after the show today, buddy. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. The way you walk, how you walk is your gait. Really? I did not know that. I did not know that. Takes like seconds to convert my Bitcoin to fiat stablecoins directly to Visa for use. Have you tried Lightning? Connectivity is a beautiful thing. Amen. You need 10 Bitcoin for the vault. Respect. No, definitely not. 10 Bitcoin. I'd say that if you have more than half a Bitcoin, you should be. I mean, not even that, because like it's much more than Bitcoin. You're protecting your whole life that lives online. And so the alternative to that is like leaving it on a piece of paper. Because again, I'm at the point now where I don't trust fucking anything on the internet. Not like videos and shit, but like if I have a login online or a password manager or anything that connects to somebody else's server, I do not trust that one bit. Not one bit. So the alternative to that is like taking all that information and putting it into a notepad, right? But it's like the notepad could burn, but you could make a backup of it. Yeah. But also if somebody finds that, and this is the whole key to the Citadel Vault, which I probably should have mentioned before, but the whole key to it is that it's encrypted, which means you need a password and keys to unlock the information there. Just like your cold card queue is encrypted with the PIN code and it stores information and keys, the Citadel Vault is the same way. So like if you have all your information, you put it on a piece of paper, that's great. But number 1 could burn. Number 2 could get wet and destroyed. Number 3, it's all in plain text. So if somebody finds your 12 words written down on paper, they essentially now have your Bitcoin. So the vault really encrypts all that. It puts it in one spot. It's fully offline, fully encrypted. And that's a way to keep everything that you have in one spot for your family. And it's backed up multiple times, so you cannot lose it. It is amazing. So I don't think there's even a requirement for how much Bitcoin you should have because it keeps everything. I think that it should be, even for somebody who's not into Bitcoin, they should have a Citadel Vault. Truly. They probably don't see the need like a Bitcoiner would. But yeah, if you're interested in the Citadel Vault, okay, I will make it easy for you. I said I wouldn't, but I will. You can just set up a quick call with me and just say you're looking for some information on the vault. And it's a value for value call. So I'll put this in the like something was crawling on me. There's a hair. Value for value. There's the link. And I'll even give you a referral code for it so you can save some money. And I think you get like $750 worth of free support. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, just reach out to me and I'll give you some information on the vault. And you can even, you know, at this stage of the vault, you might even be able to set up a call with Craig himself if you got some questions. Look at this. Who's this fella? James Bond in the house. Says, got you finally. Good morning, Mr. Bond. Good to see you. Now get an RFID sleeve for the Vault OS. Good call. Good call. Okay, there we go. Every minute it changes on my end. What are you talking about, Vic? Every minute it changes on your end. What changes? What were we talking about? Best method is keeping your seed phrase in your head. Ooh, disagree with that, D. DNK, I disagree with that. And there's two reasons for it. Number one, because I think that at some point there's going to be technology where they can literally read your mind. It might be available already. But if you have your seed phrase in your mind, then it probably will be, if it isn't already, able to be extracted from your head. So that's a huge vulnerability there. Truly. Sounds crazy, sounds far-fetched, but I have no doubt that that'll be the case in the future. You ever notice how already you start thinking about something and then all of a sudden it appears on your screen within like the next 24 hours? I don't know. Don't love that though. But number two is that if you were ever in a situation where you were at gunpoint or you were, held hostage, you could easily just give it to somebody. If you have it memorized, you're going to easily give away your Bitcoin to them. Easily. And number three is that if something happens to you, your Bitcoin's gone. You could get hit by a bus this afternoon and your Bitcoin would be gone. So I do not recommend people memorize their seed phrase. I think it's a horrible idea. I used to recommend it. I actually memorized mine, but I don't think it's a good idea anymore. Yeah, come to the Visionaries paradigm. That's a good call. James Bond knows what's what. Okay. Google has a map. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere, man. You can't trust anything online anymore. You got to get your shit offline. You got to get things backed up. Everything, not just your private keys. But that's why the Citadel Vault is going to be kind of like the best thing for it by far. I don't even know if there's a competitor other than NBK's, but I don't know what that's going to be like. Be honest, y'all. For those who use Bitcoin on a daily basis, do you honestly show all the transactions you have done on the blockchain to the government? Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. Yeah, this is a good call here. This is a good call. Time, you asked if anyone else's time was changing on our phones. Yeah, what's going on with that? What did you say back here? Every minute is changing on my end. Really? What the fuck? What's with that? It's happened like 3 times in the last couple of weeks for me. Where it just keeps going backwards. Like it's 11:30 here according to my computer, but it's 10:27 on my phone. Oh, 10:27 on my phone. There's Arnie boy. Where'd Arnie go? And this happened last Wednesday. I was late for my show or my meeting with Forrest and Rajat because my phone was an hour off, but it happened last Wednesday too. Why is this happening? Yeah, don't keep it in your head. That's a bad idea. Wrench attack to the dome messes up that seed phrase in your head theory pretty quickly. Germany is a great place for Bitcoin. I agree. I met a lot of great Germans in Prague. Might be the Bitcoin country of the world, honestly. US would be up there. China's obviously up there. Hong Kong. I'd say Canada would be up there too for Bitcoin countries. Although we have a very large country, big population here, but we have a lot of great Bitcoiners in Canada. I think you're able to do that with the Passport Prime Foundation. Yeah, but it's different. It's different. I know what you're talking about. I actually looked at the Prime in Prague. It's a cool device, but you can't air gap it either. You can't air gap it. It's got to be done via Bluetooth, which I don't love. Vic, too funny. Canada, the silent superpower. That's what it feels like. Okay, let's do this draw here. Let's do this draw. Look at this, Captain. He sent a $5 fiat zap over on Rumble. Thank you, Captain. Very much. I really appreciate that, man. It's been a slow week, but that's okay. You know, that's bound to happen, especially in the dog days of summer. So I appreciate every little thing today. So we're not going to be here Friday. We're going to be gone. I'm going to be gone Friday. But I will do a show tomorrow. So how do I do this here? We got 50 people over in Rumble right now. I'll give you 2 more minutes. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do the draw here. Where is this? We're gonna do the draw in a couple minutes here. Where is that? Right here. So all you have to do is head over to Rumble in the next 2 minutes, and you'll get yourself entered into the draw for a big zap today. So while I figure out how to do this, hopefully I just want to double check I didn't miss anything here. Scotty's on there, Plubinator, Sin, Vic, Plural, DNK. Okay, I think we're good. All right, let's bring this up. So I need to find a random draw wheel. Pretty sure I could just copy and paste all these onto here, right? Wheel of names. Hey, what does this remind you of? What does this remind you of? Who am I, Jerry? Who am I, Jerry? Okay, so I should be able to now copy all of these. This was a smart play by me, writing these down throughout the show. I'm smarter than I look. So what do I got here? Look at that. Oh, that's a nice looking wheel. So we had about 60 people throughout the stream today on Rumble, and probably only half the people are on there. So last chance here. Last chance. If you're watching this on Rumble, you can get yourself in the draw for some free Bitcoin today. And thanks to Maria and Chuck and Duncan and Mark and some other zappers, we won't be in the hole today because of it. I guess I should just get a sponsor. Should I? No. That's a lot of names on the wheel. Okay, let's do this. I said, would you cash out retirement, take the hat, tax it, and buy Bitcoin? Yes. And I'm not just saying that either, because that's literally what I did. So, yep, I would. I cashed out probably 95% of my retirement fund. Bitcoin is my retirement fund, even if I had to pay a hit on it. And most importantly, yeah, it's definitely going to outperform everything in the future, but also like nobody can fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like if all of a sudden the government watched my show one day and they're like, hey, get rid of this guy or put him in jail, you know, they could seize all that. They could seize my bank accounts. They could seize my investment accounts, but they cannot seize my biddy. So that's kind of the price you got to pay. Yes, good luck, everyone. Sin said sponsors equals Sat Sugar Daddy Mama. Don't do it, Jor. Yeah, we won't do it. I'm just kidding. I made the promise to you guys and girls very early on in my channel's history that I would never get a sponsor, and I will hold that till the day I die. Regardless, if we can't make things work, then I'll just shut down the show. But I'm never going to be in a position where I need to rely on somebody else for a corporation for money. Okay, so let's do this spin here. This is for 8,888 sats today. And this is a tribute to Jerry and Backpacker. Both these guys do the wheel every day. But this is for our friends on Rumble. So it's going to do the last call here, about 30 more seconds. Unless I see more names in Rumble, we're going to press spin here. And we're going to send it. So here we go. Should we count down from 60? Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. So close. So close to who was that? Vic? That is freaking close, man. Look at that. Oh my God, that could not be closer. So TMBR, Timber, is the winner of the sats today. So Timber, if you're still here, put your lightning address in the chat there, and I'll send over those sats right now. Timber, barely. Look at that. You could not get any closer than that. It's actually touching some of the green. So sorry, Vic. That's a tough one, buddy. But you know what? I'm actually going to give Vic a second place prize. So Vic, put your lightning in the chat as well, and Timber, throw your lightning in the chat, please. Please and thanks. That's a lot of sats, almost 10K. Yeah, that's going to be pretty significant in the future. You guys should hang on to these sats. Hang on to these sats forever. See what they become. Okay, so I need what? Oh, we got some sats here to Arnie Boy too. A couple. We got a couple sats for Arnie Boy today. Okay, so let's do this. We had, wow, look at this. I don't know who this is from. I'm going to guess this was from Ian. This is a big zap. Biggest zap of the day. Biggest zap of the week, I think, even. I'm going to guess this was Ian E, because this is kind of a random one, and Ian E was in the chat, and he likes to send sats to Arnie, and they are usually random. So thank you. That's a triple shot of orange juice today. Thank you. I'm going to assume it was Ian. If it wasn't, I apologize. But and then Cedar Sats also sent in some to Arnie Boy. He said, good show. Cedar Sats. Thank you, Cedar. Appreciate that, man. Okay, so we got Timber and Time at rizful.com. Timber and Time at rizful.com. I'm going to double check that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do here? Because this is a lot of sats. Timber and Time. This is a good little hack for everybody here. This is a best practice that I use. So I put in the lightning address there, Time and Timber at rizful. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to just copy this. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to copy it. And now I'm going to send over 88 sats as just a test. And so there it goes. There's 88 sats sent. So now, Timber, just confirm that you got that. And now once we get confirmation on Timber's receipt of that, then I can just paste it, because I'll know then that I have the right lightning address for sure. It's difficult to do with like a Bitcoin address, because you're not manually typing it in there, right? If you're sending on chain or like the mainnet, you're not going to be manually typing in BC1, blah, 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 blah. So that's why I like doing this with lightning stuff, is you always want to just double check. Okay, so he received it. So there it is. Now I'll just simply paste that exact same address, and then I'll send the full amount. So then at least you know that it's going to the right spot, right? So there you go. We got some, let's put some ducks in there. There we go. So there it is, on the way. Congratulations to our guy, Timber. Big zap. Big zap. And Vic, what's yours? Vic, do you got where's your lightning address? So I'm going to send you some too as well for being so damn close there. Okay, so that's it. That's what we got for today, my friends. Thanks for being here. We're going to have one more show this week. It's going to be tomorrow. And then we're going to hit the ground running. So like I said, we got what? We got 1503 blocks until the big activation happens, which is scheduled to be at August 9th, which will probably work good for me, because it was showing before that it was going to be August 8th at like midnight, or August 9th at like 3 in the morning. So this looks doable. This is Sunday morning. So again, Forest Forrest Hoddle, myself, and I think Jerry are going to be going live for that, for the mandatory signaling block, which happens in 1,503 blocks. So that's what we got. But I want to say a big thanks to a couple people here today. Number one, to everybody who went over to Rumble today. I really appreciate it. And I'm thinking that we hit our threshold for the month, so that helps me a lot. And like I said, it's an easy thing to do. It's doesn't cost you anything, but it sure makes a difference on my end. So another way to help keep us sponsor free is just by doing small things like that. So I appreciate everybody on Rumble today. And we just got another fiat zap from Andre. Andre sent in $5 on Rumble, and he said, "Happy Wednesday." So we got 50 people over there in Rumble. Let's see if we can get that. We got 24 thumbs up. Let's see if we can get that a little bit higher before we go today. As Jenny says here, make sure to smash the thumbs down before you leave. So thank you, Jenny. Another big shout out today is to Praetorian, who purchased 2 memberships on Rumble. We had Chuck, Maria, Duncan, and I think it was Ian with a big zap today. I'm not 100% sure on that, but whoever that was, thank you. And then we had Captain and Andre with some support over on Rumble. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and we'll be back here tomorrow for our Fat Zap Thursday, since we have no Friday show this week. So anyways, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon. I didn't get an address there from Vic, but I guess we'll have to save that for another time. 54 people over in Rumble right now. God bless. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.